Yards across America are filled with old stuff piled up everywhere. My job is to sort through the rubble and uncover the hidden treasures of the yard sale. I sort through the trash and turn crap into cash. Hi, and welcome to episode 10 of Pickin Vegas. I'm Mike. This is Dusty. And this is a show I do about the stuff I find at local yard sales, estate sales, and other places sometimes. We had a great run again. Really good week, a lot of neat stuff to go over. So let's dig in and see what we got. Okay, here we go. We got all this stuff to go over. So we're going to start over here on the left with these vintage style tin signs. I got a whole bunch of them. These are all metal. Some are painted or litho typed things, but they're all modern. These aren't old antiques. They're really neat. And I got these as part of a good bundle at a family estate sale. All these should do really good. I'm probably in these things maybe 50 cents or $1 each, so they weren't bad and they're pretty neat. Should sell really easy. And then over here at that same sale, I got this water bag. I almost didn't take this because it just looked like a canvas bag, but after seeing it, I decided to throw it in the pile. Again, it was part of a bundle, didn't pay much, maybe $1. And then over here we have a set of 4 Mikasa crystal wine glasses. We got those for $2. Probably just going to keep those. We found these neat little statue guys. I think they're bookends, it looks like, and they seem to be made of some type of a stone. I don't know where they're from or what they're worth, but we paid $1 each for them. They're pretty neat, and I'll be curious to see where they actually came from. We also picked up this little picture. I usually don't buy this kind of small art like this, but this one's particularly interesting as it has like real feathers. So it's a 3-dimensional thing. I don't know if you can see it that well, but it's actually made out of real bird feathers. So kind of neat little thing, $1. I buy cast iron pans when I find them, as long as they don't say China on the bottom. This one does say, looks like Wagner ware on it. Did have a price tag of $40. We got it for $5, so we'll see how good or not that turns out. Those can be good sometimes. I don't know why people collect cast iron, but it is highly collectible. And then here we have this bobby hat from London. Pretty neat thing. I don't really know anything about those. I paid $10 for it. Curious to see what it's actually worth. And we also found these little creamer jars. They're actually made of like a pottery. And then there's one for something called Viral back there. Again, got these really cheap in a bundle, $1 each or something. Got this neat 1-gallon, looks like an ice cream company. I'm not sure exactly what they use that for, but pretty neat old jar, and paid about $5, I think, for that one. And then here we have a Champion juicer. If you're not familiar with these have been around for a long time. They're very popular. And I got this one for $20. I think there's some money to make on it. I haven't had one of these in a long time, so I'm not sure what they're currently worth, but I know they have some good value to them. And then over here, we had this little Fantastic Four. It's kind of interesting. It's a comic book with a record in it. That got thrown in for free with some other stuff I bought. It does have a little water damage, but hey, for free, can't go too wrong. And with the big gun craze in the country right now, I got these books for $1 each. Modern guns and repairs and things. I think those will do good in the antique store and make a couple bucks. Not really valuable, but good low dollar stuff for the antique store. This week we got one video game for $1. So sometimes you find them, sometimes you don't. And here we have a set of brand new hockey cards. To be honest, I don't even know what year they are. I paid $5 for them. I know this stuff is on the rise, so I figured I can't go too wrong. And then we found this really interesting little radio here, a little box radio with a cassette, and we got that for $5. So if that works, hopefully it's worth something as well. And at the same estate sale with the signs and whatnot was also this antique thing. This is for stoking a fire. And then next to that is a Glock pistol case. There's no pistol, but I got this for $2. I've had these in the past from storage. They always sell really good. There's a lot of people out there that have a pistol and want the original case. So I've usually got like $10 to $25 for one of these. So at $2, pretty good deal. And then we got the really scary little doll. This is going in my personal Halloween collection. I really like this, so it's not for sale. And over here, we picked up 2 Barbies. I generally don't buy these very often either. I did get these for $5 each. They are a little older, in the 90s, and they're both in really nice shape, so they probably do have at least a little resale value. And then here, I've got a pair of automotive speakers. They're brand new, and I got them for $5. I don't really think they have a great amount of resale value, but I'm into cars and I might have a use for them or sell them on later. So at $5, I couldn't pass them up. And then over here, we picked up a lot more records this week. A bunch of good stuff. We got the Ventures and Wham, Earth, Wind and Fire, Mike and the Mechanics, some Creedence and Heart and Bangles, and one of my favorites is the dueling banjos. For those of you who've never seen this from the movie Deliverance, this one creepy kid has one freaky movie. So I love this image. Well worth $1. And over here we got a beautiful set of blue luggage. You've seen I've gotten these little travel cases quite a bit, but these are just in exceptional condition. I mean, they are super nice and clean. So the luggage is almost in brand new shape. I did pay up for this, $80 for these 3 pieces. I think there's some money to make on them. They're a really nice set, and you just don't see like really clean sets of this stuff anymore. So. And then next to the luggage, we have these 2 camping tents. I don't know if they're good or not. I'm going to have to put them together, but I got both of them for $5. My hope is that I can get them cleaned up and looking good and combine them with that camping stove that I got for $5 and probably a few other things as I find them and build a nice camping lot that I can make a couple bucks on. And then over here, another set of luggage, actually from the same estate. This is a 4-piece set. This is my favorite set I've ever seen. This is so... James Bond spy luggage, if you've ever seen it. And again, this stuff is in amazing condition, so even has the keys and everything. So paid $50 for those 4 pieces. We'll have to see what they ultimately are worth, but just way too nice to pass up. And to wrap up, I got 2 more record players. This one's a Techniques. This is a realistic. I got them both for $20, which is a pretty good deal. I think this one probably has some good value. This is interesting in that it's a linear, meaning the arm moves along here, where this one it goes like this one it goes like this. So kind of interesting design there. Hopefully they both work and we can make a little profit on them. So now we're going to do some research on this stuff and see what's in here that's really valuable and what isn't. So we're going to get started with that right now. First up today are the 2 turntables I got. I bought 2 different turntables. They're both 1980s style. We have a Techniques, which is a conventional pivoting arm style, belt driven. And we have a Realistic, which is a little more interesting, not made for a super long time, where these have these linear arms that go across, and they're supposedly supposed to provide better sound quality with that type of design. I tested both of these. Both of them have issues. First up is the Techniques is a belt driven, and the way you access that is you just simply remove the platter, and when we take a look underneath the platter, you will see the little motor right here. And this is what spins. And then on the bottom of the platter, you'll see this big circular piece here. That's what the band wraps around. This here is a piece of what's left of the band. You can see where it died here and rotted away. This is the old skeleton of it. And I've ordered a new one. It's about $8, and it's pretty easy to put on. You basically just put the rubber band around the circular part there, flip it over, set it back on the record player, and you can see it as an access hole. And you can grab it, put it on the little motor, and boom, it'll be working great again. You see how once it moves, the arm moves and everything starts working. So that one's pretty easy. This one, I looked at a video online, and it actually has a belt too. Now the belt doesn't drive this. The belt actually drives the linear part. And since this isn't moving when I power this up, it looks like there's a little belt here on a little tiny motor that I'm going to have to pull this apart, replace that belt, and then if all goes well, should work good. So when I do get these working, this one here, the Technics, should bring around $100, and this one should bring anywhere from $50 to $100. A little harder to find a reference on this as it's kind of a rare item. I do expect, actually, if I get it really working good, it is complete and in really nice shape, I probably will get the $100. So I'm going to be about $40 in these guys, and I expect around $200 for them. Next up is the Champion Juicer. These are great juicers. They're really sought after. People love them. They've been around for a long time. They have a great following, and they're really easy to sell. Even if you find one of these with a bad motor on it, if it still has all these parts and pieces, they're all worth money. This this blade here and the funnel system and everything. There's a screen underneath there. All that stuff's actually worth pretty good money too. Some of these things bring $30 to $50 each, so you can't go wrong with these things. This one's in great shape. I tested it, works really good. It really hasn't been used a lot. It's white, which is nice, so it should sell really easy. The bottom end on these on eBay is around $100. They can bring over $200. I expect somewhere in the middle. This one's in really nice shape, around $150. I spent $20, so I'm really happy with that one. And here we have the cast iron pan that I bought. I picked this up at a estate sale where they were just getting rid of everything. It was kind of a threw it in at the last minute thing. I got it for $5. It does have a price tag of $40 on it that I didn't really even see until I bought it. But I like cast iron. It always sells good. This one is clearly marked on the bottom of it, Wagner Ware, Sydney, which is the town in Ohio where they made these. This company was around from the late 1800s into the mid-1950s. And this pan, I checked, dates somewhere between 1935 and the mid-50s. There's probably a way to keep dating it. These are highly collectible, and there's a lot of information out there. I did check eBay. They sell really easy. Bottom end on something like this is around $50, sometimes a little more, depends on who's buying. But I paid $5, I expect $50, so keep your eyes out for that Wagner Ware. And here we have 3 old ceramic jars. I've never really had jars like these before. I grabbed them. They did look original to me. They were mixed with a lot of stuff that wasn't old, looked old, but it was just modern stuff. But these did appear old to me, so I picked them up. I got them really cheap. What we have here are these two little guys are cream bottles for, you know, your cream to put in your coffee and whatnot. So they must have had some type of top to them at one time. Good news is worth like $20 a piece, so there's $40 there. And this one is Viral. This is a bone marrow, an ideal food for children and invalids. So I have no idea what gross stuff came out of that thing. But good news for me is this guy's worth about $30. So I'm probably in these for $5. I do expect around $70 out of these little guys. So great investment on these little dudes. And here we have the little bookends we found. These guys are really, really cool. They look to be all hand-carved stone, and the stone is a high gloss black finish, and you can see on the bottom that it is real stone, and they're really heavy. I looked, and you can get this black onyx from different places in the world, but these definitely have a South American look to me, and Peru and Brazil and northern Mexico are areas where this type of material can be found. So I'm going to have to spend a little more time trying to figure out exactly where these were made and try to get some kind of price put on them. They're really, really nice quality, and I'm hoping they've got a little value to them. We only spent $2 on them, so price to be determined once I figure out what country they're from and maybe what they represent and kind of put a little story to them. But really neat stuff. You never know what you're going to find out there. So this here is a London bobby helmet, a policeman in London anyway. This is an obsolete kind of thing. I don't think they're using this style of thing anymore, but at first when I bought this, I really wasn't sure it was an actual real helmet. I mean, it appeared to be well made, but it's really, really lightweight, and I would have guessed they do that just to help with fatigue. So, but it's a nice quality item. It's got a leather band inside, and it's felt lined, and it's in really nice shape. I looked on eBay. These guys sell really good. This should bring an easy $100. I paid only $10 for it, so I'm super happy with that investment. If you see a bobby helmet, grab it. Ice cream, anybody? We have a old jar from the KV Ice Cream Company out of Belleville, Pennsylvania. This is a pretty rare jar. Only one on eBay sold, and that is all I could find. This is a big jar, 1 gallon jar. Requires a 15-cent deposit if you want to get it. And there's some additional markings on the back. And this thing, the one that sold on eBay, went for $170, and it didn't have the lid. I spent $5 on this jar. I'm betting I can get $200 for it. So you see something cool and old like that, just grab it. You never know what you're going to find. Surprise, surprise. This is a surprise. I did not expect this to be worth much. This is a water bag, a canvas water bag. It's called the Desert Water Bag, and it's made by this Ames Harris Novell out of San Francisco. These are quite popular, very collectible, and this one in this exceptional shape doesn't even look like anybody ever really used it. I'm expecting to bring at a minimum $100 and up to $150. Ones in way worse shape are selling in that range, so I expect somewhere in that number. Pretty neat item. Never would have expected that kind of value out of it. We had another great week this week. I spent a total of $280, and I expect at least $1,500 back on all that stuff. So really, really good. I thought I'd do a grand total now that we're at episode 10. In our first 10 episodes, we spent a total of $2,345 on all that junk. And our expected totals minimum will be $12,920, which, if you can do some quick math, is an easy $10,000 in profit. That is from buying stuff at local yard sales. I only spend about 3 hours on a Friday and about 3 hours on a Saturday doing it. That's all it takes. Drive around, hit as many of them as you can, and you'd be surprised how much treasure is laying around out there. So we're heading towards a nice cool weekend this weekend. There should be lots of sales. I can't wait to get out there and dig up some more crap. I'll see you next week with a brand new pile.